In this subject, we will look at what we call energy medicine. It's a non-biochemical reaction that is induced by energy. And a lot of people understand that we have EMF and lasers and PMF and that we have all sorts of far infrared saunas. But I thought I'll just put that into a very nice sequence so that you understand what kind of frequencies we're talking about. And it makes it a lot easier. So if you look at the spectrum here behind me, it starts with the whole range, starting from radioactive gamma and cosmic rays, going all the way down to a very low rumbling of the Earth, like the Earth magnetic field. And that's a spectrum in which you find light, radio waves, satellite, mobile phones. Everything is based on those frequencies. So what we talk about in each of the different departments is very different. So for example, if we talk about PEMF, pulse electromagnetic frequencies, which is right to the left, that's where we talk about that rumbling, that low frequency from 0 up to 60 Hertz. So it's a very low, long wave frequency, and that is not EMF, which is electromagnetic frequency that we call dirty electricity, which causes stress to our cells. It's actually life-enhancing energy. It's very, very important. When you think about every cell has a cycle of breathing as they inhale and exhale and get rid of waste products and take up nutrients. And that frequency in which that cell is in that range from 0 to about 60 Hertz. It's a very powerful thing to understand when you look at the astronauts when they went out to space and they were away out of the electromagnetic field of the Earth. Their health deteriorated. They had serious health conditions until they noticed if we replicate certain factors that we will talk about in this range, like Earth magnetic fields, like light, laser light, and near infrared, and warmth from the sun, far infrared. As soon as we replicate those within their environment, all of a sudden they can stay out there a lot longer and their health doesn't deteriorate. So that's actually where it came from, and we can make use of that. PEMF, which is the first subject we talk about, is very, very important. And it's a very simple treatment because you most of the time don't feel it, except if you use some of the big ringer devices. And they just pulse electromagnetic frequencies in you. Now the effects are phenomenal. And I told you that before in some of the other subjects, but if you look here at the cell, you have from inside negative and outside positive charge, a difference of 80 millivolt. And that's the cell. And then you see up on top here at the side, there is those nutrition channels that go through the lipid profile. It's a fat profile that surrounds every cell. And as those cells open up to the outside world and take in nutrients and then release waste products, those cell channels clog up. They lose energy, they lose charge, and then the cell deteriorates. And when you look here down, that's like a cancer cell. They have 20 to 30 millivolt. It's also when you look in blood, red blood cells, when they all clog up and they become that mush instead of having nice round balls that bounce off each other and are fully charged. Now, to achieve those effects of recharging the cells, that's exercise and walking outdoors and grounding yourself and breathing fresh air and enjoying life. All of that will enhance. Even hugs and good feelings and all of that will make your cells expand and clean out. Whereas everything that, and it's pretty obvious, like that makes you suppressed and stressed and all of that will deteriorate the power. Plus the heavy toxicity that we have from pollution, from water, from all the heavy metal, from everything that surrounds us, will clog them up. And then at a certain stage, that's aging. It's the aging process. So we need to counteract that. Now, what a PMF device does is twofold. There's two different devices, and I'll explain them, either of them. The ringer device, which is such a powerful magnetic pulse that you can feel, you get muscle contractions. It shocks you through and it cleans out everything, and it's used mostly in clinics because these devices are expensive. and they just do in 2 minutes or in 5 minutes what the other device takes half an hour for or 45 minutes. So it is a very intense treatment, and it can be used, especially with cancer cells, that they really get such a massive blow because the membrane of a cancer cell is not very solid. It's not very adjustable. It can't deal with heat, can't deal with strong loads. So it will deteriorate. And that's why in European clinics, they use that as a cancer treatment. They have the coil and directly treat the cancer, the tumor, and through that it overcharges and disintegrates. And it's part of a multi-approach treatment, but it's a very effective one. Healthy cells, they just clean out the gunk and enjoy the power and take up oxygen and really feel great. And that's what you realize. We have a lot of those devices in many different clinics and old folks' homes. And when you see the patients, after 2 or 3 treatments, their energy level goes up. They dance in the corridors. They really enjoy life. Libido comes back. Continence problems go away. It's phenomenal when you observe the results. And every patient who has different issues, they respond differently. Sleep is a lot deeper, bone density goes up, all of that. So the Ringer device is just like an intense treatment in a short time if you have more patient, and it can be used as a direct cancer destructing, as a cancer treatment like they do in Europe. The oscillating, and I think I should have images. Yeah, this one is the oscillating. And the oscillating device causes a frequency range. Now there are devices and many multi-level marketing devices which have a very, very low power. So they go into minimal phases, which is similar to the Earth magnetic field. Well, go out, lay in the grass if you want that. If we want a therapeutic device, something that really has the grunt to clean out your cells, to activate, to strengthen your bones, then you need a device which is 500 plus Gauss. Gauss is the strength of the magnetic field, and the Curatron device that we use now since many, many years without any problem, without any hesitation, with dream feedback, has 750 or 1000 Gauss. So it's a top of the range model for almost the same price as those cheap multi-level marketing devices, but it has the power even to power up a big pad with almost 500 Gauss so that you have the results that you need in a very short time. Now you can see here in the blood the images. It's really like before and after, and we've done on all my workshops, I have those devices, and then we take the blood before a patient and then afterwards. And when you see, like one after the other, now for the past 3 years we've done that, it's phenomenal because patients really, they come with sloshy blood, with high inflammation markers like you see. That's a liver stress. That's a lot of toxicity in the liver. And they have the treatment for half an hour. They sit there and they work through, and the frequency changes. And I'll explain that in a dedicated video about those devices. But as they go through and they use all of that, all of a sudden their blood, as you can see in the image, is clean. The red blood cells are fully charged. They bounce off each other. And the white blood cells are about triple the size than they were before. Like you can see in the top picture, you can see that little white blood cell compressed, not moving, not crawling around on the glass plate, sitting stagnant. After the recharge, that is like a little snail. They move and they check out all the other cells and they chase bacteria. So it's a phenomenal difference. And all those images are after 20 minutes or 25-minute programs. So simple, very easy. The effect lasts about 2 days. So you can do every second day a treatment of half an hour, or you do one in the morning, one in the evening to recharge. You remember, you need plenty of energy for sleep. So when you do it in the afternoon and you recharge your cells, you recharge your body and you go to sleep, it's so much more improved, and that's why this is a dream device. The Ringer device, that's just, like how it works, but I'll explain that separately. The Ringer device, which is a PMT 120, very strong discharge, is a lot more powerful in reaching the same results, but it is also a lot more effective. Like you have if you do a massive discharge, you need to be observed. You need to check yourself that you don't have a Herxheimer reaction, that you have a detox reaction, because that can happen quite easily, and you need to observe those things and then really do short intervals and slowly increase before you hit yourself full on. But as a medical treatment in Europe, like they do in America and Australia, it's not like that. But in Germany and Europe, in Austria and Switzerland, they have that full permit to it. It's a powerful treatment. Same thing, we have activation of white blood cells, which is probably the strongest effect. You know, like white blood cells are your soldiers. They defend your body. They care for everything. They catch bacteria and fungi. They repair leaky gut. You want them to be fully mobilized. And that's the main effect that you will see. And I put a video underneath where you see Gladys, you know, like blood before and then 20-minute treatment, or at 15-minute treatment, and then 20 minutes later, we checked her blood again. And the difference is like day and night. And the white blood cells are extremely active and full on mobile. So in a program of cancer treatment, this is something you don't want to miss.